back. Australians are turning their backs on Anthony Albanese, with new polling this morning revealing voters think Peter Dutton will make for a stronger leader than the PM.
All right, let's get today's take on this with journalists John Mangos and Shelley Horton. Shelley, I'll go to you first. So on a two-party preferred basis, we'll bring it up on the screen here. I think this is the Resolve poll, so it's 55% for the coalition. In the other poll that we're going to bring up in a moment, it's 52%. So these results now, are they surprising for you?
They're not surprising, but I do sort of look at it and go, another day, another poll, call the election already. Can we please just get this race actually started? I think that I'm feeling disappointed in Labor that they're making all of these announcements at the very last minute. And then I'm seeing Dutton just matching it, which is a very good strategy, but particularly with the health policies that they're talking about at the moment, Dutton has got a really checkered past, with GPs in Australia saying he was the worst health minister on record. So I don't really care who gets in, as long as they start making some changes, and I really want to make sure that we hold them accountable to these election promises.
Look, we always know there is a margin of error with these polls, but clearly it appears as though the momentum right now is with the coalition. It's with Peter Dutton. What do you put that down to, John?
I think Albanese's lack of doing anything major for such a long time, he was just keeping the ship sailing. And now in the last few weeks, he's announced all these multi-million and billion-dollar subsidies, and I think it's caught up with him. And there's probably a bit of voter fatigue as well, when the incumbent has been in for usually a longer period of time than one term. So it's... I just think he hasn't impressed people.
Yeah, probably. Shelley, to make matters worse for the PM, you know, as you were saying, Dutton's just doing things like now of like, hey, which is what Albo did last election.
Yeah.
If he's going to do it, yeah, I'll do that too. And I'll do that as well. So what we're doing here now is really making it almost like a presidential sort of thing going on here, which is not how our government works. You know, we don't vote that way. But that's kind of what both these people are doing. And it's sort of the cycle keeps repeating itself.
It's one of those things, if they want to turn it into a presidential campaign, then we've got two very unlikable leaders. So it's not really going to be the best way to do it. The best way is to actually talk policy, and let's talk cost of living, health, and how to keep our country safe. I think those are really important issues rather than personality politics.
OK, do you think, John, that Labor can turn it around?
Yes, they can. It's not disastrous.
Well, Dutton's got to win back a lot of seats.
That's true, but you'll find over the years that as you get closer to election day, it favours the incumbent slightly. So those numbers will come back of their own volition, irrespective of what Dutton and Albanese should or shouldn't say or do. But it's quite a substantial lead, but no one's dead in politics.
Yes, and a lot can change.
It's like the Marvel universe, they just keep coming back.
There's plenty of time there is plenty of time to turn it around.
Interesting. All right, guys, stay with us when we come back. On hold for more than 100 hours. Oh, this will get your blood boiling. Frustrated Aussies spent 123 million hours waiting on hold in 2024, with telcos being the worst offenders.
Shelley and John are still here to discuss this. John, that's more than 11 hours per person. We don't get paid for that, you know.
No, we do not. And the thing that really bugs me the most is when you're on hold, it says your call is very important to us. If the call was important enough, somebody would answer it.
Yeah, that's right.
Right?
And then they want you to do a little survey at the end.
Yes.
And you feel bad.
Yes, because the person sounded nice even though they were incompetent.
27 hours later.
Shelley, it's the telcos, but then it's also transport and industry services. What about when you finally get really close to resolving your issue and then you have to go away and call back and then you end up with someone else and you got to start all over again?
Yeah. I know. The being handed and passed on where you're repeating yourself is so frustrating. I think the thing is, for a lot of these companies, that's your money they're talking about. So you're counting every dollar at the moment. So the fact that you need to speak to someone and get it resolved means that you do put up with the pain of sitting online. But I agree with John for once. And I think it is our time. It is our money. And they really need to respect us as customers. Yeah. And you know what? If it gets bad, I think we need to vote with our feet and try and change telcos or change companies so that you're not being disrespected.
All right, let's get on to Married at First Sight last night. And Bride Morena had enough. There's fist bumps already from Shelley. But Morena had enough of the headlock and the fist bumps. Calling out her husband Tony in last night's commitment ceremony. Here's a reminder.
I just want him to be a gentleman. But I've asked him, do not fist pump me, and he still does it. I've asked him stop headlocking me, and he still does it.
He'll go on the head, you know.
Now, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that I'm not fun, and I'm so glad you're all laughing.
I promise we're laughing with you. Shell, whose side are you on in this? Because some of the other couples were like, mate, I fist bump him all the time.
Yeah, I know. Look, I think we just have to cut through the chase and say Tony is not that into Morena, and that's what it comes down
Right,
to.
okay.
This is friend zoning. This is exactly what
It's
you do when you
hardcore
don't
friend
want to cuddle
zoning.
and kiss. You do a fist bump and a headlock and a little bit of a rub. So
I see you
Read the
over there.
signs.
You're my wife.
I don't know. I think it was blown a little out of proportion. But at the same time, John, it's nice to see everyone en masse laughing and not screaming.
They were all laughing, and even though she looked serious, she had a little smirk on her face.
She did, yeah.
Because what's so offensive about fist pumping, really? The headlock I could do without.
I agree.
When was the last time you were romantically headlocked, John? Come on, be honest.
I remember the last.
Hey, Shelley, before we go, you're an ambassador for Shingles Awareness Week this week.
yes, it starts today. Thank you so much. Look, I've had shingles and so has my mum and my father-in-law, so I know how painful it is. So the big message is simply, if you're over 50, please check with your GP and know your risks. It's as simple as that. You want to avoid it. It really hurts.
For sure. It's a great message. Good on you, Sarah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Thank
John.
you.
See you guys soon. Still to come, why multi-generational